how's it going? I'm Marlene, and thanks for wandering by. So I'm here today to kind of go back to like the very basic reason I began this channel, and it was with an accidental series because it was meant to be just one video. But it was an accidental series called Why I Tarot. And I've gone through, I have a playlist on my channel, but I've gone through 5 reasons already why I tarot. And they're, various different reasons. You can check out those videos, but they're along the lines of like, first learning about myself, connecting with other people. Reason number 3 had to do with like how I like to learn. I'm a lifelong learner, and how the tarot has made me, more so. And then also, another reason was, it was tied with my adorable decks. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I'm on reason number 6. It could be 5. I can't remember now. I guess I'll have to go look. Anyway, so I'm on the next reason, whether it's number 5 or number 6. And I'm, by the way, like this mug is, I don't know if you can see it, but like, oh my God, it's so pretty. So anyway, I'm here today still in my temporary living situation with my coffee in the morning, which seems to be like a really good time to try to film something. And I'm here to talk to you about another reason why I tarot. And I have with me here in this bag the Tree Spirit Tarot. This is not like, hopefully it's permanent home. Maybe I'll get another prettier bag, but for now I'll talk about the Tree Spirit Tarot in conjunction with this reason. And so it's a pretty simple reason, but it's gonna take me a little bit to kind of explain it. And it kind of, it might sound redundant if you watch the other videos that I made on why I tarot, or it might just seem oversimplified, but I guess I should just say it and get to the point. Another reason why I tarot is simply because it helps me. Reading the tarot, working with the tarot helps me. And it helps me for various different reasons, but one of the main things that it helps me do is it gives me time to think about the things that I want to think about. So let's look at the Tree Spirit Tarot, which is gorgeous, while I talk about this. So, well, first of all, the Tree Spirit Tarot, and there's going to be cards upside down in here, I'm sorry, it's simply these like photos of trees, and it has the name of the tree, and it has a keyword. And for whatever reason, this this type of photorealistic tarot deck has been like so my jam recently. But this is this one in particular kind of illustrates my point because of its like complete divergence from an Rider-Waite-Smith or Thoth scene, and it being just trees, which I'm not an expert of. It makes me think about, like the symbolism of the tree. I don't have the guidebook yet, but I mean, I have things that I can look up to find out more about like how this particular tree works and why the mulberry tree is abundant. But some of them are, trees and flowers that I recognize. And a lot of the quartz and the aces have been changed. So aces are pioneer, and the quartz are, I believe, messenger, or earth keeper are the queens. But anyway, so the idea, the reason why I tarot, the reason why it helps me is because I'm you know, I'm middle-aged, I work full-time, I have a partner and a child, I have a household to run, I have a million things, you know, going on all the time. I mean, recently it's been even more so, but I feel like when you have a family, or when you have, I mean, not even when you have a family, but like, I'm just speaking about my experience. I feel like when you have, you know, adult responsibilities to take care of and manage, you don't have time to think about things that really matter, things that are really of value, things that like your psyche needs in order to help you heal. And when I found the tarot over a year ago, it gave me precisely what I needed to give me a time out from my life, day to day, you know, busyness and expectations, and allowed me, you gotta look at that, the eucalyptus is the tower. That's amazing. We have those trees here. Anyway, it gave me, it gave me, not an excuse, that's not the right word. It gave me like an opportunity. That's the word. It gave me the opportunity to take time to sit and pull a spread, examine these cards with their meanings, keywords, and figure out what that means to me, what that means for my life. It just gave me a chance to like brain dump, to like take all the stuff, you know, just to think, like, and it's helpful. Like it helps me have that, when I have that space, when I give myself that time to think, to look at the 5 of evergreens. So these would be the wands, and think about the dragon tree, and look at this image and conflict. That's, you know, like, it looks like, I always assign human characteristics to trees, like always do. I can't help myself. But yeah, I mean, you know, just to take the time, I love banyan trees. Just to take the time out in the morning, after, whenever I do it. I often tarot in the morning. Orange. Just to take the time for myself, you know, like, I feel like that's a struggle that I had for a long time with a young child, you know, when she was first born, and that you don't, you know, it's really difficult to get time to yourself. Like you don't, everything that I did and everything often that I do is in, you know, the service of other people, and my family, and at my job, you know, I work with kids, and I'm constantly, you know, taking care of everybody but myself. So yeah, so, you know, one of the reasons why I tarot is because it helps me, like, essentially the tarot is my self-care routine. I love this so much. Okay, so I'm like, and this is when I saw this card for the first time. So this is the 10 of hardwoods, and in this deck, hardwoods are swords, the sword suit. So this is the 10 of swords, and this is a ceiba tree. They're called something else, but I can't remember. But this is the kind of tree that has that like very soft, I mean, I don't know if any of you are familiar with it, but there are trees like this where I live, and I have very distinct childhood memories of interacting with trees like this, and just like running my hands along it, and the feel of it, and how the bark peels, but it peels in a very particular way that's like, smooth, like like, I mean, obviously if any tree is whose bark like peels, it's meant to happen, you know, like animals shedding their skin, like that's supposed to happen. But for some reason with this tree, it doesn't feel incongruous with like the tree itself. It feels like that's what's supposed to be, that change, that lifting of the skin, that, I don't know, it just made me think. It made me think, and it helped me think about, you know, what it is when you get the Nine of Swords or the Ten of Swords that are traditionally in the Rider-Waite-Smith really difficult cards, like the Nine of Swords being the nightmare card and the Ten of Swords being the like, meh, you know, swords in the back. So it's just like, what an amazing card to see this. I don't know, for me it felt like, you know, this means that this is, I don't know if I'm oversimplifying by saying it's meant to be, but it's just like supposed to be what's happening. Like that's the end, that change is happening, that, you know, and it's still not, I mean, like it delivers it in a, like in a way that I can, that's palatable, but the message isn't any less powerful, if that makes sense. Like, you know, swords in the back, but also this recognition of this type of tree, which I have, like I said, distinct memories of from when I was a kid. And there's, I have to go visit because there is a tree like this that I know of in my area, or several, and I know where they are, and I need to go visit those trees again because I want to feel that feeling, that, you know, of that, that soft, kind of furry feeling of that tree. But yeah, I mean, like that's why it's self-care for me, because it's like I never would have taken the time to consider, you know, when things are ending and changing like that in my life, in that like metaphorical way with the tree, and in that nostalgic way with the tree, and like, you know, and I wrote in my journal on it, and I, you know, I stopped, like I was mindful, like I was, you know, and this, I mean, this deck is just a really good example of it, of that, like, you know, those steps that you take, and I enjoy it. Like, we're so busy all the time that like when I have the opportunity to, and when I take that opportunity, and when I set aside that time to read the tarot and to journal, it's so valuable for me. It's so helpful. It's so peaceful. It's I mean, it's also, you know, not, it's difficult too. Like, look, Three of Swords, difficult. No, it's like, it's not easy. And I like giving my brain, you know, places to go. That's why I think I enjoy decks like this that are so outside of, you know, it's just a tree. It's just the name of the tree. It's just a keyword. And that's definitely the keyword that I think most people have for the star. But it's so funny because this is a daytime scene for the star. Yeah, I just like, you know, it's, that's an interesting keyword and a great one, I think, for the Wheel of Fortune. This came up for me recently. It made me think about like that the feeling of being on the wheel, you know? Here, let me move these aside and I'll have a smaller pile. So yeah, I mean, and like, it's, yeah, it helps me think, it helps me calm down, it also helps me process, it helps me deal with things that are challenging, but most of all, yeah, like it makes me slow down. And even if the things that I'm thinking about aren't easy, or are difficult things that come up that I have to process. Eight of Wands rising. So good. It's worthwhile for me every time. I rarely do a reading for myself that I feel like, well, that was a waste of time. Like that, and there's so much else in my life that I have to do that I feel like it's like, God, that was a waste of my time. Being on the phone with that whatever for however long just to get, something resolved, blah, 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 a monkey puzzle. Anyway, yeah, this deck, this Tree Spirit Tarot, is a really wonderful example of that, process for me, because it's not just, I'm not looking to just get, easy answers. This self-care routine of mine is, oh God, I love all the fruit trees too, because I live in an area where we have fruit trees, some kinds of fruit trees. These are one of them. Purpose, that's the Knight of Cups. That's great. Oh, I love this. I got the Empress recently. These trees cards are distracting me. Anyway, I'm almost at the end here, so I guess I'll wrap it up. The reason why this process, this routine of mine, it's not necessarily like an easy thing or always a hug or always makes me feel better. Help doesn't always come in the form of a hug, right? Help can come in the form of some tough love as well. But I think it's what helps me is having a routine and having a process and having a place and a tool, a tool that gives me that space, that gives me that process, that allows me that time with myself, to think about myself, my life, my goals, what I want, what I need, what is happening currently, my spirituality, my future, my past, everything. Things that when I had the luxury of time when I was younger, that I had time to just sit around and ponder. I hadn't given myself that time, or I hadn't had the opportunity for that kind of time. Once I had to be an adult, had adult responsibilities. So yeah, reason number, I think it's number 6, but it could be number 5, but I'll put it on the screen. Why tarot is simply because it helps me. It helps me. So yeah, thank you guys for sticking around with me. This was a short but sweet video again, because again, I don't have much time where I am before the house gets, bustling. Didn't even finish my coffee yet, but I will, and enjoy my breakfast. And anyway, I hope everybody's doing well out there. Again, thanks for sticking around with me, and I hope that you all have a beautiful, wonderful day.